India's external trade system is standing at a critical turning point. In October 2025, the country's goods trade deficit surged to a record $41.68 billion, highlighting deep structural weaknesses that can no longer be ignored. This rise is not just a temporary fluctuation. It reflects long-standing overdependence on a limited number of export markets, commodities, and global supply chains. One major concern is the sharp decline in exports, especially to the United States, India's largest trading partner. When the U.S. imposed steep tariffs on selected Indian goods, exports dropped sharply, affecting key sectors such as textiles, garments, leather, and engineering products. These industries are labor-intensive, meaning export shocks quickly translate into factory slowdowns, job losses, and stagnant wages. Heavy reliance on a single market leaves India vulnerable to policy decisions made outside its control. At the same time, imports have surged, worsening the trade imbalance. Precious metal imports such as gold and silver rose dramatically as investors turned to safe assets amid global uncertainty and a weakening rupee. India's continued dependence on imported crude oil further inflated the import bill, while reliance on foreign intermediate goods like electronics components, chemicals, and pharmaceutical inputs raised domestic production costs. This creates a double burden. Manufacturing becomes expensive, and exports become less competitive. The socioeconomic impact of this imbalance is significant. Job losses in export-driven sectors, rising inflation due to higher production costs, and persistent pressure on the rupee directly affect ordinary households. Currency weakness increases import costs, which in turn fuels further inflation and deepens external vulnerability. The government has introduced policy measures such as export incentives, financial relief for exporters, and strategic trade adjustments. While these steps offer short-term support, they cannot fully resolve structural issues like market concentration, import-dependent manufacturing, and lack of tariff-free access in key global markets. The way forward requires a long-term transformation. India must diversify export destinations beyond traditional markets, strengthen domestic supply chains to reduce import dependence, fast-track high-impact trade agreements, and shift toward high-value manufacturing sectors. Building resilience in external trade is not just an economic necessity. It is essential for employment, stability, and strategic autonomy. India's future trade success depends on moving from reactive policies to a proactive, diversified, and self-reliant trade architecture. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And before you leave, don't forget to answer this question in the comments below. What was the main reason for the decline in India's exports? A. Domestic policy reforms. B. U.S. tariff hikes on Indian goods. C. Fall in domestic demand. D. Labor shortages.